Hi, it's Pekka from Lockbullet, and welcome back to continue with Megamax. So I have been over here not just waiting, but I did get hoses. So this kind of pallet full of hoses, and how I get the hoses, those look like this. So ready made. I don't have over here, I don't have hose machines or anything. I just order, and then next time when I need, I just place this item number, and then they will deliver me that. So actually, meanwhile, what I have been doing is that over here we have again one original lock bullet. I have now might be 99 of these. So not the first unit. And the next one is over here, top over the shelf. I will actually take those components to Suonenjoki and assemble a machine over there. So that is my big plan. Other big plan is now to continue with this Megamax. So what I will be doing, I will take away capping to the floor. Then I will go over here, like over here. I will place couplings over here. Then I will place hoses inside this kind of protection sock, and I will have hoses around over here. And actually, machine building idea of the machine is that after you have all the components together, you have ready machine. Pretty simple. And now my plan is to continue with her until I don't have any more components. So I already know that I'm missing some components that I will need after this, but I think it's more efficient that I just do it like this. Then I know this, like which is the really correct component, and we will get good machine. Yeah, but let's take that away, plumps. Lifting out the cabin. I had that over the machine. The only reason was that if I have all the components in my shelves, or cabin I cannot have in the shelf. So it's in the floor, and I have to all the time move that around. So the best warehouse spot is over the machine. But why it takes more time for me to move that around is that this after treatment box over here, or after treatment system, this is pretty expensive, so I didn't want to break this. Yeah. Now she looks so much easier to have hoses around, and that is something we are going to do next. I will just have my laptop, then I will look around numbers and place. I made over here for me table. So this is how my work is at the moment looking. So great forklift, pallet of the hoses, and computer, and then machine. And what I'm at the moment doing, I grab from here hose, and then I have over here I have number. So for example, this is 106405. Then I have in my computer Excel sheet. And then I see that these are for the rear, these are for the tank line, and also handbrake. And then I place these over here to correct location, because I actually could also start to do it like that. I am starting from that corner, and then I go over here to look for the hoses, but it's just so much faster, this method, that I just grab from here and look what I have over here. I divide those around the machine, and then in the next step I start to go around and look for the. Then I just make one. This is okay. I have these also tank lines, it seems. Yep. So this is this kind of work, and I'm just. In some degree, I like this. Now it feels great, because after all the design and all the stuff, I'm like over here. I'm like doing something ready. Because also one thing I want to do when I'm doing like this, I want to make that corner is ready. That when I start at the machine, all the couplings are tight and that kind of stuff. So that is important in this stage, that I'm not doing like something semi-ready. I'm doing at the moment ready. Because I'm human, and I would forget to tighten the hoses, and then I would have so much hydraulic fluid in my floor. So I place those, these are for the turning, I place those over here. So everything all the time to the correct spot. Let's see, it's a huge amount of the hoses, different hoses. My supplier has been happily building up these. But this is basic work. Okay, like, of course in the future, okay, I have 8 of these hoses. So all the corners in the rear will have the same. So if actually the thing is, if I have mistake over here, that these are like too short or too long or something, then I have bigger problem, because I have the same problem several times. So I did take either risk over here, but I think the risk is reasonable. Yeah. So I place this over here to this wheel. So it's 404, not available. And now I have to find all of those hoses from here, place those over the wheels. And then I'm in a relatively good situation because I have everything ready. Yeah, I will continue this, and I will talk to you, because at the moment it seems that I'm just happily walking around over here and like placing stuff. So anyway, these hoses are good. These can actually take 350 bars. And of course, in the reality, these could take, I think these are tested to 1000 or something like that. So again, these hoses are a little better than average hoses, but there is also a lot of pressure in the system. So there is a reason why to use this kind of better hoses. Yeah, but I have done this. The funny thing is, I can also, in the original log bullets, when I assemble, I still look the numbers, but mainly I can just like, I look the hose and then it's like, yeah, this looks like this. And it's, I think these are for the front section because I have several of those, the same hoses. Yeah. Okay, let's continue in the next spot. Now it's time to have some hose time. So I have actually been over here. So this is my snake nest, but it actually looks nice. Now there is already 3 drive motors connected over here, and it don't look so bad. It's actually looks reasonable. So in the old version, when I was doing Megamax4, and the reason why I did create that new torch box was that it wasn't so nice to mount those components. So I decided that there has to be a better way. It's always in the Dragon's Den in that they were so that there has to be a better way. And that is actually good driving force. But also this driving force is hydraulics with Megamax. So over here we have drive motor. This is actually with the, so there is, when you push over here fluid, it comes out from here, wheel rotates like this, and then this is tank line to avoid too much pressure inside this component, so it's like safety feature, and this is actually handbrake. So when you have over here, you have 20 bars pressure, it opens the handbrake and you can drive. When you are using the machine, you will not notice this, so it's automatical. So the idea is that when you push the crane button, then you have that switch on, and you don't have to think about that. So that is just nice to know, but not actually important. But what we have over here, so I'm using 1/2-inch hoses, so like this. And this is actually a good one, so this is 350 bars. So that is pressure. So this can take the same amount than these. And the nice thing with 1/2-inch hoses is that these are actually these are like flexible. Even those are for the higher pressure, those are still flexible, and it's nice to use those. And this then is like the spiral hose is like this is more rigid. So you have to think more about those. Now you might think that why I'm not using all the time that nice flexible hose. The reason is that hole. So this is like that bigger 3 to 4 quarter. So bigger hose, it's 90 millimeters, so this is big. And then in the 1/2 inch hose, the hole is 11 millimeters. So this is smaller. And what happens? So we have over here, we have dry pump. And it creates about 70 liters per minute, the fluid. And it runs fast. And then over here, we divide that at least to the two sides. Usually it goes to, in the slow beat, actually it goes to 4. And in the fast gear, it goes to 2. So when you are like driving the maximum speed, it goes 2-way, and it's about 40 liters over here, and about 35 liters here and here. And then this long line over here is then about 70 liters. And when you are measuring, like when you are like engineering the hoses, the good rule is that with 1/2 inch hose, you should have about, what's that, 48 liters per minute. That is maximum. And with 3 to 4 quarters hose, it's 96 liters per minute. So both of my values are under that. So even like a good safety marginal. So no worries with that. So, and what happens like when you have the hose, when you have this kind of hose, so this is about 1.5 meters maybe, 1.5 meters. And if you push over here, 48 liters per minute from the pump. So, and you have like pressure meter in this end when you push, and other end is empty. Your pressure meter will give you 0.6 bars counter pressure. So machine is working all the time when it's pushing through the hose. But if I would have this kind of bigger hose, then it would be 0.2 or 0.1. So way less work for the machine. And what happens when you have too much work for the inside the hose is, first you are of course consuming all the time more diesel, and other thing is that it creates the heat. And then you have the heat problem. You need to have huge coolers and huge hydraulic tanks and everything to avoid the problem with too much heat. So that's why we are using the correct size. So it's not by the luck. There is a reason why I'm spending time with these machines to make like good quality. And also the thing is that this over here is super nice because it's also like there is a bigger hose inside, so it don't create heat. Yeah, the next thing what we are doing over here, actually we start to place some couplings. So I use PSP couplings over here. Those look like this. And so this is my basic work. I'm over here with my knees down over here next to the machine and doing this. Of course, in the future there will be not me, just me. Then I have somebody in the Suonenjoki doing this. But now it's me, and I kind of like this work. This is after all the designing. First I have been designing long hours these. And then I did order the components, I did receive the components. Then I was welding these, so like this bogey over here, I did weld this. And all the components are like, and then I did take those to paint shop and like all the grinding and all of that kind of stuff. And then I did finally mount that. Then I did mount the drive motor. Of course, I have to contact my supplier for the drive motors and like think like what would be the perfect drive motor for the Megamax. And then I did measure the hoses. I did send Excel sheet for my supplier that I need. When you have the, actually when you're having the couplings, you can have like more force with that because it's just O-ring. So you don't break anything when you have that with higher force. Next we have over here. So it would be perfect for me if I would have somebody over here in my workshop just for cameraman. So it's like one-man band and cost-saving action, so nobody over here helping me, so that's why I have to carry the camera. Of course, the good thing is that I have this microphone over here, so I can be like this, and you can still hear me in the same way. This actually, if you, by the way, guys, if you know some other manufacturer who makes the similar videos, like this, in this level, please share the information, because for some reason these kind of videos are not so common. Of course, my Lockbullet videos don't get so much viewers, so those are not like the most popular ones in the market. Now I actually have over here conduit or cable tie, because I have over here, I have two hoses. Those are with the same item number. One is for the front and one is for the rear. And when I have the hose over here, then when I connect the hoses over there, I have to know which one is in the front side, because otherwise I would end up to situation that some my wheels want to be spin like this and others want to spin like this. So I save hours when I have this kind of little cable tie over here. So now I can see like in the both ends I have cable tie, so I can see. I have to worry not to cut my headphone set. This is also like, if you call me, I might be doing this kind of work over here. And it's, yeah, then I use this kind of explosion sock. I don't know how you call this, but this is special, just made for this use, to cover hydraulic hoses. So this is wear resistant and all the other nice stuff over here to avoid, because it goes inside the machine, this, so it's again kind of little safety. And then I have little, we call this painter's tape, I don't know if this, so I just have this over here, because otherwise this sock wants to go like this when I make the next step. So now we have, you might notice that I have already over here, I have the hose and everything goes, and it's super hard to see. So those go from that little spot over here. So those are a good safe spot. So I did just hurt my back. I did place it over here. Sorry, my camera always want to shut down. But other thing might be now happened that there is some maintenance guys who are like angry to me that like saying that no, it's awful, it's impossible to, it's hard to like fix the machine in the forest when it's like that. But over here my idea, I could make machine which is the most simple to maintain in the forest. But that would actually mean that I think that I make so crappy machine that you have to fix that all the time. So my idea is to make so good machine that you don't have to fix that all the time in the forest. So then it can be like this. So if there is somebody telling you that machine should be easy to fix in the forest, then it's like, it's totally different to think. I think that like I have hoses over here in the good protection, and like I use good hoses. I have those in the safe good spot, and everything is that way nice. So then like the customer is happy anyway, because you just don't have to do this. And other thing is also like when I was doing the previous Megamax, I did spend huge hours assembling this area over here, because it was, first I had like 4 different hoses, I think, or something like that. So it was like, and then plus, so I had like actually 8 different hoses and more hoses and huge amount of the valves and everything. So it was huge task for me just to, just have to have first. So it was huge task to assemble the machine. So then I was thinking that, yeah, there has to be a better way. And now it has been so nice. I'm not smiling all the time, but I'm like inside in my soul, I'm at the moment smiling, because just so nice to assemble this machine. And so how it actually looks like from my side, it looks like this. And okay, I have a bit of flashlight over here. So it goes over here inside. There is a nice channel, and then it goes over here and over here. So and also like the movement is nice. These actually over here you can see this kind of protectors. So those should be in super safe spot. These flashlights are super nice. So I can like have tiny one and it's still super efficient. When I'm not anymore young boy, so I need to have like all the time glasses in my head, and then I need to have this. When you're actually having like the hydraulic hoses, please don't. Now it should be correct. So it's like hydraulic hose should be tight, but not like dang dang with the full power. No. And those are also simple to fix if you have to fix those. And now, next thing what we will have over here is the parking brake and the tank line. So it's easy to tell like, okay, you just need to have like the hydraulic line for the handbrake and you need to have hydraulic line for the tank line. But in action, it's usually way more work than just saying that you need to have those. But it's nice when you are loading in the hill or anywhere, you just don't know it. You are just loading something, and when you have automatic handbrake, it's so nice, I assume. Yeah, but anyway, again, like two similar hoses, and now I will mark the other one. So I always give the tank line without cable tie, and then I have in the handbrake I have cable tie. So when I'm connecting these, I will not have handbrake in the tank line, and then I will not have vice versa. So that is this is proud to happily made handmade machines. And let's make. We have actually over here we have a little bit. At the moment I should be moving my production to different unit. So that's why I don't have everything perfect. Usually I have everything in the shell, but at the moment like I have 50% of my life already in Suonenjoki in other location. And I was actually thinking today that I have to order tools, because I was thinking that okay, like that kind of, I don't know how you call these, but these machines, we call these bolt guns. I have to order there, so I don't have to carry around, because in the future there might be two guys doing the work. So then it's more practical. Now we have this also inside the production. And these are in the different protection, because if you just want to take these away, it's then easier. Yeah, but anyways, I was thinking that if I will have over there people working, there might be two persons, and it's kind of expensive if you don't have enough tools. And people are like looking around the tools and waiting, the tool becomes super expensive, because we are in Finland. We are not like we have like per hour cost is higher than in China. So we have to think more. Yeah, of course, they are also thinking in China how to make things efficient. But we have to also over here think how to make things efficient. All the time when you are saving hours, that is the cheapest hour. So idea is to have like zero waste in that way that first, of course, the component. The best component is that you don't have the component. It's the cheapest. So that was also my thinking about with that torch box, that like some components, there was expensive components. So I was thinking like if I make this torch box over here, there will be gator solenoids and electricity. But if I make that system, it is so much, and that is cheaper. That is more cheaper, and it used to take for me 2 days. Of course, I would be in gator faster, but anyway, it was super time consuming to have the hoses over here. So I was then thinking that, okay, if I make that smarter, because it was taking too long time, if I make that smarter, then I don't have to pay for the 2 days. If I can, like this, you can make most likely it will be 3 hours task or something like that. This all rear hydraulic hoses. So my target is that during 1 day, person will do these hoses over here. That is how I think. So then it's again like, because it's low hours, then I can sell the machine with reasonable price because it's not so super expensive for me. So that is all the time how I'm thinking. So making torch box, having just this amount of the hoses and everything, then it's also easier for me to train people how to assemble machine, and also it takes less hours. So then the cost is lower and I can still sell Megamax with reasonable price for you. So everything like that is important, because I'm just thinking about you all the time. Of course, I'm doing Megamax also for me. So it's, how did this all start was that I want to have in our forest this machine. And then I was thinking that, okay, there might be also some other people, and there was huge amount of people have been hoping that I would make this kind of machine. So I decided that, yep, I will make this. But anyway, it's like, now if you wonder like why it takes many hours to build a machine. So like if one corner takes half an hour, which as a total it's about half an hour, one corner. So and then there is 4 corners, so it at least 2 hours work. And then I just take this kind of coping. So the other one is short and the other one is tall or long. I don't know, is this tall or long? But anyway, then goes over the other coping. It's a nice thing that I have 8 similar corners more or less. 4 are totally similar, but then when I get correct copings, I can just copy and I can of course take photos from here. Then I can teach people how to make one corner, and then I can tell, please make all 4 corners. And then in the first round, people will have so many times making this that it's, yeah, coping you can use force. With hose, no. You will just destroy the hoses coping end. And of course, if you break the coping, it's not as bad because copings are reasonable priced and simple to swap. But if you break the hose, then that is not as nice because hose end comes with the hose, and then you need to have new hose. And you have to swap the new hose over there and take old away. And I first make this with hand. And one thing what I'm doing all the time, when I'm placing this over here, I'm little shaking it. So it moves. I have with manual, and it moves. So then I know that those 2 components are perfectly aligned. And then okay, with correct power, not with putting but, and if this gator actually starts leaking, it's not so difficult because you can just open the cover and tighten it. And now the last one is the handbrake. course, if you are one thing of, I know that first run it will take 1 hour per corner for the person to make, because if you are not used to do this kind of like work with copings and other stuff, then it takes so much time. But of course I have to trust that people will turn to be professionals, and we have good workers over there. They, like, in Finland we have one race type, so car race, it's not demolition derby, but it's almost like that. So they are like, because that maximum price for the car is 2,000 euros, and after the race you have to sell your car with that price. So people are building up cars, those has to be cheap, and then they are driving in the racetrack. So that is the most popular like race style here in Finland. I have all the, so it looks like this. We have all the hoses, and you cannot see how the hoses are coming over here. But anyway, like that jokkis or jokamiesluokka, that is people just have 2,000 euros and they have to build a race car. And that's not a lot. So they are using old cars, because always after the race you have to sell the car. So if somebody wants to purchase your car, the price is 2,000 euros and you have to sell the car. So that keeps the price down. And the good thing is that in Suonenjoki, so where the future Lockbullet manufacturing will be, there is a lot of people who are doing that. And those guys are super good building up stuff, because as a hobby they are building up cheap race cars. So when they are in the work, they are super good problem solvers. So they just like, they don't need anything fancy, they know how to get things work. And also like, of course, between the race, because those, it's not like that you can hit other car, but you might hit other car and like do like this and accidentally hit other car, and it's still okay. So it's not demolition derby, but it's almost like that. So those guys are super good in fixing up stuff, making like with reasonable price things, and also fixing up stuff efficiently. So that is good for me that I have that kind of. Now I have to place the hoses under there. It's like I'm like sewing over here, so it's like knitting. I think knitting is the correct word. Knitting. So placing the hoses that in the future when the bookies will make the bookies will be doing like this all the time. So then I need to have. I have to think all the time. So over here I have hoses, and then when the buggy goes up and down, of course these are like, they're not so much rotating because the angle is not so huge, but anyway these are moving over here. So I have to think all the time that hoses has to be able to move around. So that's why I'm over here, like placing the hose and looking that everything can move around. So because I cannot avoid that sometimes both wheels will be up, sometimes those will be like this, sometimes like this, and sometimes like that. And doing all of this, and like it's impossible to avoid all the movements. So that's why I need to think that everything can happen. But now it looks so nice. This is just so nice how it can be so beautiful. And so the thing is also like why I'm having the hose from that corner. It comes, I connect these to this side. So I have over here, I have more length. So when it's moving, it has more space to move around. So it don't, because if I would have it over here, it would be so short that it would cause problems. Of course, longer hoses make more counter pressure. So if I would have like this hose, all of these hoses will create, of course, divided by two, so other side and other side, but there will be some counter pressure over here, and it will create but minimum. And of course, the shorter the hose is, less there is counter pressure, so less heat, because less extra diesel oil burned. But then there is other thing is that it has to be like go with a nice round shape that it lasts longer. So no. Now I'm placing coating over here. But it looks so nice. God damn it, I'm so proud and happy for this torch box. It was a long project, and it started when I was making Megamax, and I was thinking that this is the last time I'm doing this kind of hours, this kind of work. And also for the maintenance guys, it's so nice that because this torch box is solid steel over here, so when you take one hose away, you have a plug over here, and then it's just nice. So no worries about that. And actually, even if you are in the forest and you break, I was thinking, if you're in the forest and you break one hose, you can still survive with just plug like this going over here, and other one, and you just drive back home. So it's a good survival mode also. I always have to think that kind of stuff, because I'm also spending hours in the forest, and I want that I'm also happy when I'm like, when I'm happy with Megamax in forest, I assume that my customers are also happy with their Megamaxes or logbooks in the forest. So that is, and if I think I wouldn't be happy, then I couldn't sell machines, because it would be kind of difficult. It would be difficult for me to sell machines that don't make me happy, or because then it looks nice. So next, at the moment we are in the good situation that we have over here these hoses, and also we have drive system over here. So what we have to do next is we have to have the tank line and also handbrake line to the front. So this is why we have this kind of manifold over here and these long hoses. And we also need over here, the rear, we need electricity. So over here we will have flow divider valve, and over here solenoids. And that flow divider, or that is set of valve, it's nice thing that when you are driving, you can have like the differential lock in the rear, and the front can be free, because when it's empty, it's easily start to free spin over here. So then you have like over here where there is like not so much weight, you can have then the differential lock, and the front where you have more weight, then you don't have the differential lock, so it's nice. So good system, but we need to have electrical information over there. Now we have this kind of set over here, and next I will place it inside over here. My microphone is not happy at the moment with me, so it don't work. It has sometimes connection problems, so I don't know why. And like I decided I'm not going to fight with it half an hour. I make this old style, speaker to camera style. But anyway, rear section is now good. This actually, if you would just have pressure over here in the other end, actually more or less in the pump, because I did also test this hose over here. So pump, so this is for the rear, and it comes like this over here. And I was figuring out for the long time how to get the hoses over here. It was like, because this is kind of steel bar, this hose, and it should last long, but it's kind of like a steel bar. So I had to test some degree that how it will go, and I think this is now the good. I will have over here that kind of plastic I did just want to have like everything correct, because I will have over here like frame lock and other stuff. So I did want to test that what kind of space I need to have over here, because always have the hardest ones over here, and then like the easier ones you will fit how you can. And over here I will have rotating coupling, so over here, because now it looks nice, but this like rear section will make like this. So then this part will come from side to side. Of course this because this comes from here, these are like always happy. But this hose then is in the problems. But anyway, it should be able to like this bend that amount that it can go from side to side like. And then like turning the machine is actually the similar. So then it will rotate like turn over here, and I will have over here rotating couplings, because then like otherwise this coupling will be over here in the heart, and it will also rotate this hose over here. But if I have rotating coupling in this spot, then it can rotate freely, and I don't have like I will not destroy this hose over here. So when doing manufacturing moving machines, you have to, or everything is moving over here around. I'm always doing like warm with my hand. But anyway, and then I have over here for the front, I just need to have over here 45 angle coupling like this, and then I can place this over here. That works nice. I'm like, and then this is main work pump. I have also hoses over there, but those are not problem in that degree. Of course, the only problem actually I have at the moment is that this hose is like steel bar, so this is kind of a little too heavy duty. It might be actually good to have just. I have to think if I have. Also, one solution would be to have just two. So total 4 smaller hoses. That would actually go nicer. But I try to somehow figure out how to do this, because one thing I could do over here is just I have to see how this works. Because when I'm in the forest and I drive, I will have most like camera over there and I just follow how this works. Because for the assembly this is nice, because I can assemble a full drive system even without cabin. So this is for the assembly, this is super good that this comes from here. And one thing I could do over here kind of like plate or hose over here. Then I just have to, or I might even where to have the hole, because if and then like reinforcement plate over here, not to break this tube, and then it will be just up from here to rotate the couplings and just drop these over there down. It might be actually look, technically it might be the same, but it just looks better. So just like have these hoses shorter, that it just ends over here. That will be a pain to fit, because this full distance over here is the problem. I might test that and like. Let's see how because then it will be just like so elegant to have over here rotating couplings, and this hose comes over here, and it would look like there's nothing. But this might be technically better. Let's see, because let's see how it works. It should work nice. So what I will do next over here, I will have in the front section these hoses. I will not make video for that because it's kind of boring that I make the same task all the time. And then I will have most like in the next video then. I will have next video, I will have over here like the frame lock and the steering and other stuff. But I think this video is already too long. So this is like, people don't usually want to see like full night movies. They prefer to have like this kind of set. Of course, you can comment below how you like the video. And I was actually super happy for the last video that there was a lot of people who were watching that. So it was nice to make this. And So I'm happy to make this and like show what I'm building over here. So my life. So now I will continue over here. I will again have some music over here running. I cannot have music at the moment because of the YouTube. It will tell that, hey, there is music. No, that is bad thing. But this is good thing when there is no music. But soon I will be just like mounting hoses over here and working and making more videos for you. So see you, bye.